You, of course, are listening to the MHA podcast. Why in the world would you play Isaiah McKenzie over your third-round pick, T. Higgins? Why? I like any quarterback that can make Will Fuller look good.
I love it. I think he's a top 20 receiver.
I mean, he is the Jamar Chase whisperer.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, my God.
You know, everybody loves Lamar Jackson.
Hated it.
I trust Derek Carr.
Come on. For real?
I know why you did. It's because you're crazy.
It's still the week and the games aren't even over yet. It's great. It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Patrick Mahomes. Looks so good. Kyle Pitts was bad. It stank.
It's not my shebang. Justin Jefferson.
So good.
We could call him Russell Wilson if you want.
Ooh. Well done, sir. That is good stuff. All of those guys have more fantasy points than Tom Brady. I'm laughing, but I'm crying at the same time. It's terrible. What's going on, MHA owners? It's Halloween night. Happy Halloween from the MHA podcast. We're here to recap week 8 of the MHA fantasy football season. What's going on, fellas? What did we dress up as this evening? You know what I dressed up as today? Mikey Renault, because I won this weekend.
Yeah,
Feels good. It looks good on me. Once in a while.
Yeah.
It looks good on me.
You know, yeah.
Flattered. I'm flattered.
That's great.
Mikey, what'd you dress up as this week?
I didn't dress up as anything. I'm just my usual self.
Your usual
Top-
170 point self?
Yeah, top points in the league, but we're used to that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. Todd, what'd you dress up as?
I was a lion tamer because I tamed a lion.
Oh my goodness. I felt like that'd been better if you didn't just say, well, I don't know. Wasn't bad. I'll give you a little
Okay.
credit for it.
All
Nice
right,
job.
Thank you.
All right, guys, before we get into the podcast, what is your favorite candy on Halloween? What is your go-to? I don't know what Mikey can eat anymore with candy, but what is the go-to? We'll start with Todd. Let Mikey think about it.
All right, it's still for
Still.
me. It's Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's right. Out of the freezer, right?
Yes.
Well, there you go. That's not bad.
Yeah, Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah. And I mean, obviously Butterfingers still, but a little bit. But Reese's peanut butter cups are still the go-to ones.
What about you, Miguel? Are you going pretzels? Well, you can't go pretzels anymore either.
Pretz.
I'm trying to think of something that was non-candy, non-sweet. You've never been a sweet guy to begin with.
Yeah, no, but Snickers has always been a thing for me.
Snickers.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a big Heath Bar guy.
Okay.
And even with all the candy that's being sold around in stores, it's hard to find Heath Bars. I don't know why that is.
You know, it's another one. It's hard to find.
I asked you for one piece of candy, and you've given me 2 already. But go ahead, give me your third one.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about ones hard to find, but Mr. Good bars.
That is true. Are they still being made?
I believe so.
You still see them every once in a while?
Yeah, they come in like that pack where they give you the Hershey's and the Mr. Good Bar and the Crackle.
Yeah.
So they are out there. So Todd's just not looking hard enough, or what?
Yeah, he's not looking hard enough.
Get on it, Todd.
He's too busy eating those stupid peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter and chocolate is delicious. Okay. Delicious.
Especially when it's frozen.
Yes.
All right, let's get into some news.
All right.
I don't understand what the news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of you can't fix that happened that was horrible. Ah!
All right. Kirk Cousins, folks, the second highest scoring quarterback in our league, unfortunately tore his Achilles in his game against Green Bay. It's unfortunate for the Cousins owner and Kilgore Trout, who now has to run with Jared Goff, who is not bad. He's 7th in scoring, but is on a bye week next week. It's also bad for anybody who has Minnesota players like Justin Jefferson or TJ Hawkinson or Jordan Addison. Yuck. Not good. So in that same vein, just saw breaking news, Josh Dobbs is now a Minnesota Viking, traded from the Cardinals to the Minnesota Vikings. Josh Dobbs is out there on the waiver wire. Should we rush out to pick him up? Is he the next Kirk Cousins or even better, Miguel?
Well, from what I understand, he's not even supposed to start.
I read that today, correct.
this
But for
week,
future.
So, I guess I don't know too much about what's the dude's name? Jordan Hall. Is that right?
Jaron Hall, I believe, is the
Jaron
backup
Hall.
for the Vikings. Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that's gonna last. So maybe.
Is it bad news, Todd, for anybody who has Jefferson, Hawkinson, Addison, any of those guys that play for the Vikings?
Yeah, it's a little
You want Jordan
concerning.
Addison now, Todd?
Yeah, sure. I'll take.
You still want him?
Yeah, still on. Sure, yeah, sure. We'll make a trade. Yeah, it is a little concerning. It is when you're going from Kirk Cousins, to Jaron Hall or Joshua Dobbs. Yeah, it is a little concerning. It is a little concerning. I mean, as good as those players have been, that's because Kirk Cousins has been really great too. So it's a little concerning. I'd be a little nervous with that.
Serious question. Whether it's Jaron Hall or Joshua Dobbs or whenever Nick Mullins, who is supposed to be the backup but is on IR right now, can they be better than Jimmy Garoppolo? Because, I mean, seriously, guys, how good is Jimmy Garoppolo? How terrible is he? Seriously.
It's not even it. You're almost thinking like, okay, this is it's like everything is backwards, or he just either wows them in the interviews, or his agent must do.
He's just
really
good looking. He's got good hair. That's all.
Yeah. They're like, oh, well, he's not really good, but he's good looking, so he'll be able to sell tickets and posters and all this. And yeah, no, it's horrible. And I brought this up too. Another reason why people keep signing him is because what he did in San Francisco. But the problem is, look at the weapons he had in San Francisco. And look at the defense he was behind. He doesn't have that. He doesn't. Now, granted, you would think with Devontae Adams, okay, oh, great. He's going to throw it to a top-tier wide receiver, has a good running game or whatever, but it's not San Francisco. And Garoppolo is just, like you said, Eric, he's just bad. It's just bad. It's bad. It smells really bad. And unfortunately, people just can't see that. So, yeah. So the Raiders have to live with that, and that's
we
fine.
can see it. It was on Monday Night Football. We all saw how bad it was.
Yeah. Again, as all as Broncos fans, it's great. Hey, just let the Raiders keep stinking it up, and Josh McDaniels ruining that. Excuse my language, ruining that shit. It's great. Let it all like the wall in Game of Thrones. Just let that dragon
Todd is animated over some
wall.
Raiders and Jimmy Garoppolo. My word.
I know.
How much sugar have you had tonight? How many Reese's peanut butter cups have you had today?
I'm not. You're
talking more than 10?
No, I actually had a piece of pecan pie. Okay.
All right. That's what Todd has on Halloween.
Early Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm not mad about that. All right, continuing on with the news. How about this signing, gentlemen? Leonard Fournette. Finally, with an NFL team, the Buffalo Bills. Should we go pick him up, Miguel? Ooh, there's a little hesitation there.
I mean, I guess if you need a running back, why not? Take the shot.
We all need running backs, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't really know what role he's going to play.
I mean, they were saying that
Go ahead.
I was saying they were saying that he might take over, might even take over that role of Latavius Murray because he's a better pass catcher. But obviously, I know that's what James Cook is for. But they even said too, they're not even. Some people think they're not even that confident in James Cook at times too either. So Leonard Fournette could he could add some fantasy football value. You never know.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, I think he can add some value.
You never know. Okay, I won't ask Todd questions anymore because he'll never know.
Look, we've known this for years, and we say it in the podcasts when we do them before the season. Everybody knows the running back on the Bills is Josh Allen. I mean,
This is
come
true.
on.
This is true. James
Five
Cook has been good.
Yeah, he has. Well, he has, but he only has 1 rushing touchdown. Josh Allen has 5. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that this week, by the way. Jeez. We'll continue on with the news here. This, I'm just going to say it because I'm supposed to. Donovan Peoples-Jones is being traded from the Browns to the Lions. I don't think that matters.
No. But maybe it does. I mean, what if Marvin Jones Jr. is like semi-retired or something? So that's why they wanted to bring in another weapon for Jared Goff.
I just think their weapons haven't done anything outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. How about Josh Reynolds, who I had to see Monday night fumble the ball and never touch the ball again? They need somebody, I guess. I guess they don't have enough. I mean, it's not like Peoples-Jones is that great either, or Khalif Raymond or Jamison Williams hasn't done anything yet. Jahmyr Gibbs is pretty good, though. We'll talk about him, I'm sure. A wide receiver that had been doing pretty well this year, Kendrick Bourne, out for the season. He tore his ACL. That's unfortunate. That's pretty much the biggest news. I mean, everybody's beat up. Derrick Henry dealing with an ankle issue. Hopkins dealing with a toe issue. Did I miss anything else, gentlemen? That seems to be the extent from what I saw. I mean, there was a lot of trades today, but nothing that really had fantasy offense impact, I guess. I guess if you have a 49ers defense, they picked up a piece that might help them. But nothing too crazy. So can we continue on with some MHA trivia?
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
All right, gentlemen. Let's do some MHA trivia. Okay, it's kind of a two-parter here. This is what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you the top 10 running backs in terms of receptions. Then I'm going to ask you where you think they rank total amongst running backs. Does that make sense? You guys get it? I'm going to say a name. Actually, I'm not going to say a name. I'm just going to have you guys guess who you think the top 10 reception guys are amongst running backs. And then I'll ask for that specific running back, if you get one of the top 10, where you think this person ranks in terms of scoring altogether. You got it? Amazing. Good job, fellas. I'm glad you're up on it.
Okay.
We'll figure it out as we go along. Okay. So, I'll let Todd go first, because he could use a win. Although he did get a win this week, but MHA trivia win. Todd, give me a running back that's in the top 10 in terms of receptions.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. That is correct, sir. And so, Todd, where do you think he ranks amongst running backs in scoring?
First.
First? Are you sure?
Yes.
Very good. Well done. Todd has 2 points. We'll go 10 points. Whoever gets to 10 first. We'll see how this goes. Okay, Mikey, give me a running back that's in the top 10 in terms of receptions, other than CMC.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara, but Mikey's only played 4 weeks so far?
Doesn't matter.
That is correct. He leads all running backs, even more than CMC, with 39 receptions. That's impressive. In 4 games or something? It's nuts. So, Mike, you pick up a point. Can you pick up another one? Where do you think he's ranked in terms of running backs altogether, despite missing all those games?
I'll say 10th.
10th. I'm going to give you credit. It's close. It was 9th. Good job. 9th. I'm going to go look at his... He missed the first 3 games of the season, so he's played in 5. But to miss 3 and to be 9th in total scoring, does that mean he's awesome? Or is it a lack of good running backs this year?
No, he's been awesome.
He's been pretty awesome.
I've been relying on him for 20 points a game, which is pretty incredible.
That's nuts. I hate you. All right. Todd, your turn. Pick a running back. Top 10 receptions.
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. That is correct, sir. Well done, Etienne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in terms of running back receptions. What do you think he ranks in total points?
Is that
a good year?
I'll say 6th.
6th? Nah, that's a little far off. He's actually 2nd amongst all running backs. 143 behind Christian McCaffrey. No wonder Cooper's Cousins near the top. That dude has been a beast. All right, Mikey, your turn. Give me a running back.
You said we have to get to 10?
Whoever, yeah, I guess we can try 8.
Okay.
We'll go 8. I don't want to do this all day either.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, man, I'm already running out of guesses.
What? I mean, there's 20. There's a maximum of 20 points.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mikey. We'll go.
I'll say, well, because these guys keep getting hurt.
This is true. This is true.
I'll say Bijan Robinson.
Bijan. Let me see. That is correct, sir. Bijan Robinson. He has 26 receptions. 9th in terms of running backs with receptions. What do you think he ranks amongst all running backs? Yeah. He's had some bad weeks this year.
He has. I'll say 11th.
11th. Wow. I'm going to have to give Mikey credit. It was 12th. Well done, Miguel. Why did my music stop? Okay, Todd, back to you. Bijan off the board. ETN, CMC, Kamara. Who else do you think's on that list?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Looking at my list. Oh, I am sorry. Todd Diamond. Joe Mixon has 19 receptions. The number 10 guy has 26. Back to Mikey.
I thought that was a good guess just because he's one of the guys that hasn't been hurt.
Not catching the ball. That's how bad Burrow was for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe go to first 6.
I will say, give me James Cook.
James Cook from the Buffalo Bills. Man, oh man. No. He's got 18. Maybe we should be the first. Whoever reaches 6 points first. Back to you, Todd. Am I going to have to start having to have you guys have like hints? Would you like a hint, Todd? What's that?
Raheem Mostert.
Raheem Mostert. Is he right, Mikey?
I don't know.
He's wrong. Raheem Mostert has 19 receptions. Oh, man. Back to Mikey. This isn't going well.
Oh, okay.
I like you guys aren't cheating. That makes me feel good.
How about, let's see. Oh, I'm going to go.
There are a couple of, like, I can't believe these guys are in the mix, but I mean.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go completely off the board. Just somebody that's been playing, but probably ranks low. And I'm going to say Rachaad White.
Yeah, in fact, he is third amongst running backs in terms of receptions. 29 receptions. I was floored. So, Mikey, you have 5 points. If you get this is the end of MHA trivia. But can you guess where he is or close to where he is amongst total points amongst running backs?
25.
Oh, you son of a...
26.
26.
Got that right? What the
26th. That's impressive, Miguel.
What the
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, that is right. I was gonna see if he was actually tied for 25th, but he is actually 26th. He's got 29 receptions, 305 yards rushing, and a touchdown. 68 points total. Good job, Miguel. You win MHA trivia.
Running backs suck, dude.
God.
They do. That's what I was saying when I was in my Laird before. I was like, don't we all need running backs? I think we all kind of need running backs.
Yeah.
Let me finish the list here. So we went through Kamara, CMC, Rashad White. This is in order. Kamara, 39 receptions. CMC, 32. Rashad White, 29. DeAndre Swift, 28 receptions. He's actually 5th among scoring in terms of all running backs. How about Josh Jacobs? He's got 28 receptions. He's 13th among scoring. Jahmyr Gibbs, 28 receptions. He's 17th. Jalen Warren, ladies and gentlemen, he had 26 receptions. He's ranked 32nd in terms of points. And then Tony Pollard, also 26 receptions. He's 13th in terms of running back. So just interesting to go through that, because usually, at least back in the day, like if your running back could catch passes, they were near the top. And there's a couple, but there's some that are way down there, like in terms of Jalen Warren and who else we got there? Rashad White. Interesting how that all kind of comes together. All right. Well, I'm going to try I've been sick the last couple days. Full disclosure. I'm going to go through this recap. And if I die during it, Mike, you just finish it up, okay? Because I don't know if I can get through all of this without dying. Okay. Here we go. Week 8 recap. No buys, no excuses. Lots of high scores this week. We'll start things off with Line Rip versus Todd Butterfingers. Let's start with the 1-5-1 Butterfingers versus 6-1 Lion Rip. This week, the illustrious combo of Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey were enough to take home the victory. 66 total points, including 26 from CMC. Todd squad also got 10 points from Mike Evans and 10 points from Josh Downs. Mikey, you say you're sorry. You laughed at him when he talked about Josh Downs on the podcast. You say you're sorry.
Here's why I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because he was saying, well, I'm going to play him over Devonta Smith. Well, Devonta Smith had 7 more points than Josh Downs did.
He still won because of it. So you don't have to say you're sorry, but I see your point. So yeah, Todd scored 115 points. On Aaron's squad, a lot of 5s, including 5 from Cooper Kupp. Michael Pittman has done well this year. Another 16 points from that Colts wide receiver, but that was really about it. Just 101 points from Lion Rip, and the Butterfingers edge out the victory. Todd, congratulations. What do you want to say about your victory?
Feels good. Feels good to get that. Feels good to get get the second win. Week 2 seems like been a long time ago. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey, dude's I think is the fantasy MVP and has a good case of being a league MVP in reality. So just automatic. I mean, if I get the rest of my team to really do what McCaffrey does every week, shit, I'd be undefeated. I mean, he scored a touchdown in 8 straight games, like automatic, whether it's a receiving or a rushing touchdown. So, I'm pretty happy. And Brock Purdy, it wasn't, gotta love those garbage points because he threw 2 picks, but at least one of those touchdowns was to McCaffrey, and that's what got me over the hump to get the win. So I'm feeling good for that second victory. Let's go,
Mikey. Did you snicker? Did you snicker with Snickers on Halloween? Is that what that was?
I can't believe you actually even heard that.
Oh, I heard you. Did you want to say something, or should I continue?
No, I just want to say that I appreciate Todd's attitude. And is it possible to have an MVP on a 2-5-1 team? Is that how this works now?
I felt like he was talking about the real NFL when he mentioned MVP.
Well, that too, and he might be just,
no.
and he might just be, and he might be the fantasy. For my team, but I think for fantasy football in general, I think when we have our, at the end of the season, we have our award show, and who is the Christian McCaffrey might be that guy. So I'm not saying he's gonna, all right. Even when I win, I can't win.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
How this award thing actually works, Todd?
What are you going to do this week? You don't have Purdy or McCaffrey.
I know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later because that's going to be rough for Todd. Let's keep going here. The Chad Powers fan club had the second highest scoring output this week, recording a whopping 163 points in the win over Kilgore Trout. Dak Prescott. Yeah, that's right. Dak Prescott had his best scoring week of the season. Racked up 60 points against the Rams. And I'm not sure we'll talk about and I'm sure we'll talk about this in the studs in a bit, but how about 28 points from DeAndre Hopkins? Who would have thunk that? No one in the right mind would have had DeAndre Hopkins scoring 28 points. And how about 18 points from Joe Mixon, which I'm sure was much appreciated after kind of an up and down year. Kilgore Trout put up a respectable 130 points. Josh Gibbs almost brought the comeback Monday night along with Goff, but not enough. Gibbs broke out with 23 last week, ended up doing 27 this week against the Raiders. After a goose egg last week, Bijan Robinson was back in double figures on Sunday, but 163 points is hard to compete against. Chad Powers fan club improves to 5-3. Kilgore falls to 5-3. How about notorious CUP versus Cooper's Cousins? What a matchup we have between these two guys. Gus the Bus Edwards, goodness, had possibly his best fantasy day as a pro, scoring a massive 28 points for Quain's team. Quain also got a monstrous 26 from A.J. Brown. How good has he been this year? CUP did get a below average performance from Patch Mahomes, who could only muster up 29 against those Broncos. What suckers? Cooper's cousin had 7 of his 9 players reach double figures, including another big day from Travis Etienne, who scored 21 points. And how about Jamar Chase, who did the backflip and reached 10 or more points in 5 straight games? And I don't think we're talking enough about Gabe Davis, Mikey. That's right, Gabe Davis. He puts up another solid week, 19 points. Cooper's Cousins finds yet another win, this time a 149-134 decision over CUP. How about those Lemonheads who battled one of the top teams in the league in week 8, and those Belt Sanders? Yours truly got that much needed win to stay in the race and did so by scoring a season high 162 points. This was a back and forth affair all weekend long. Josh Allen got things going for the Belt Sanders, 63 points on Thursday night, right out of the gate. I was like, come on, man, didn't get a chance at this week. And then Sunday came, and CD Lamb went bananas for his best point total of 2023, 32 points for the Lemonheads. Jordan Addison had another tremendous week, 17 points. Of course, Justin Jefferson out of the lineup. In that same game, TJ Hawkinson scored 16 points. This was back and forth. My kicker had a 50-yard field goal. Then Allen's kicker got a 50-yard field goal. Addison scores a touchdown. Then Hawkinson gets a touchdown. It was kind of back and forth really all Sunday. And of course, it's not a normal fantasy weekend without mentioning Tyreek Hill burning secondaries this week for 19 points. And of course, once Allen got that late touchdown from DeAndre Swift, I thought my goose was cooked. But Joe Burrow would have to go buck wild, and he did go buck wild in that victory against, guess who, Allen's 49ers squad for 61 points. And Josh Jacobs put the final touches on the 162-140 win. Great job for me. I can say that once every 3 weeks, it seems like, but 2 wins in a row for Lansing. Good job. Our league's highest scoring team continued to pile up the points in week 8. All 9 of his players had 8 or more points. 7 or 9 were in double figures. We talked about it. Kamara has been nothing but incredible since he's returned from his suspension. 23 more points this week. George Kittle back in double figures after 3 weeks of failing to do that. Jalen Waddle back with double figures, 19 points. And how about a 60-burger from Justin Herbert? Poor NWA managed just 105 points, including a mere 31 from Lamar Jackson. But his trade for Terry McLaurin got him 14. But Kyle Pitts back to doing Kyle Pitt things, just 4 points. Tamales pile up 168 points in a 63-point blowout of G Squad. Mikey, what you got to say about your win this week?
More of the same. I just wish I would have gotten that from Herbert last week and would have beaten Aaron. But nonetheless, I mean, I play the same lineup roughly every week except for kicker and defense, and they continue to do well. I feel like I can count on them.
You didn't play that Dallas defense, though.
I didn't. I have a rotating three team defense. I just kind of went with what I thought was the best matchup. Little did I know that the Giants were not going to throw a pass in the second half. And
how about that, huh? Talk about someone who has Saquon Barkley. What do you have? Something like 30-something rushing attempts? It was bananas. I said bananas already. I need to switch it up. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I don't know if they get Daniel Jones back or if it's going to be more of who is Tommy DeVito. About Tommy DeVito. Oh man,
that's injuries. If that name doesn't scream New York, I don't know what. Hey, DeVito.
Mikey, I didn't really see anything in the Doe of the Week award this week.
There weren't a lot of matchups that were close. I think the The one recap you forgot was the Gonzo Cats over.
Oh, my bad. Let me finish that.
W's.
In a battle of the toilet bowl, it's really short. Between 1-5 and 1 Eaton W's and 1-5 Gonzo Cats, it was the defending champs who eked out a low-scoring 106-93 victory. Both teams' quarterbacks scored less than 30 points, but the trio of Derrick Henry, Evan Ingram, and Rashad White combined for 40 points to keep the Gonzo Cats from last place. Go ahead, Miguel. Doe of the week?
Yeah, like I agree with you. I didn't really see anything that would have made too much of a difference on anybody's team. A lot of these matchups were way too far out of range that it wouldn't have really mattered one way or the other.
Yeah, I didn't either. So, no Doe of the week. Good job for playing the right guys, especially when there was it's something easy to do with no bye weeks. But I thought I was going to lose it for sure, the way things were going, because I did not play Devontae Smith when I traded from Todd, and he was better than Christian Kirk. And also had the tight end Taysom Hill on my bench, who I didn't play for Darren Waller, who got hurt. I thought, oh, this is going to be my week, but it wasn't. Thanks, Joe Burrow. Thanks for showing up this year. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into our studs.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Todd, give me a stud from week 8.
I'm just gonna keep going along with it, but Christian McCaffrey, 26 points. He's, best running back in fantasy, best running back in reality. He's automatic. It's like it's like a magnet. It just the end zone, the football, and him it just keeps working. So I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey. He's keeping me from being competitive and keeping me in this race for the playoffs. So,
all right, good job.
Yep, no problem.
Mikey, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott. I mean, I feel like we kind of we poop on him a little bit.
I poop on him all the time, honestly, but
yeah,
showed up.
Yeah, best game of the season for him. First game for him over 300 yards this year, 4 touchdowns. They absolutely murdered the Rams. Helped Chad Powers fan club get a big win this week. So I'm going with Mr. Dak.
Maybe he should throw it to CeeDee Lamb more often. How about CeeDee Lamb? Check out this stat line: 12 receptions, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And a lot of that came in the first half. That needs to happen more often. Obviously, as CeeDee Lamb owner, he's had some good weeks and some bad weeks, and this was a very, very, very good week. Good to see my early second-round pick pop through here when I needed him the most, and he was tremendous, and he's a stud, and that needs to happen way more if Dak Prescott's going to continue his solid season. I was surprised that they just – I know the Rams aren't good. Like, they made him look silly this week for sure.
But see, that's
Todd, give me what's that?
I was just saying, more passes to CeeDee Lamb, get it to your best player. I always say that all the time. Get it. See, when you get it to your best player, good things happen, right?
Here's our Aaron Jones segment coming up. How did Aaron Jones do this week after playing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, give me a stud, because Aaron Jones does not deserve to be. We'll put him in the duds category, but in the studs category, who else did well?
Travis Etienne, 21 points. Another good solid week for him. I mean, we're since week 5, 33, 21, 21, 21. Blackjack. Yeah, Travis Etienne. They're just he's the Jags' best weapon there. So, no offense to Kirk, but Travis Etienne, that's the guy.
No, I agree. He's got 8 total touchdowns, 7 receiving, or 7 rushing, 1 receiving. I mean, he's been tremendous. There's not much I can say more about it. Mikey, who else stood out to you in week 8?
So I'm going to stay put with Chad Powers fan club and DeAndre Hopkins. He has been terribly inconsistent all year long. And I mean, he only had 4 catches, and for 4 catches, 3 of them touchdowns, and was over 100 yards. I mean, there can't be anybody any happier than DeAndre Hopkins that he's got Will Levis in there at quarterback as opposed to the shit show of Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. So that's big for Chad Towers.
Let's preface that as saying let's remember who's throwing him the football. A rookie.
Well, a rookie that can move.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I got to see some of this game, and he's able to move. Tannehill can move okay, but he's got old legs. This guy was getting out of the pocket and being able to chuck it down the field and find Hopkins. I mean, that's just utilizing your weapons, and I don't know if Tannehill has it anymore or if Levis was doing his own thing, doing a Willie Beeman. I have no idea, but they need to keep running out there, Levis, because even if it wasn't, he was throwing it to Hopkins, he was finding everyone else.
Well, he is gonna play Thursday night. They already said he's gonna play.
Tannehill's still hurt, so just needs to keep going. Hopefully, he does it again. I mean, it was his first start, and he threw 4 touchdowns. Was that a lucky fluke thing, or is he actually somewhat talented? The Titans got to do something. It's not enough to give Derrick Henry the ball 30 times and hope for the best, because their defense hasn't been great, and Tannehill is on his last legs. But yes, Hopkins didn't have a single touchdown until he scored 3 in one game. Pretty amazing stuff. I had Kamara on the list because I was so surprised on how high he ranked, how his receptions. I mean, he is 11, 22, 19, 17, 17, 3 touchdowns. He has 2 games of 10 or more receptions. I haven't seen a lot of the Saints in their games this year, because it seems like Derek Carr is either up or he's down. He's having a bad week or a good week, but it doesn't matter for Kamara. Bro, he's still getting on the carries, and while his rushing totals have been okay, but man, those receptions in a full point PPR, kudos to Mikey for picking him up, and it's all working out for him. Anybody else we want to talk about that was just stellar in week 8? Are we missing anybody? You could say Joe Burrow. He saved my bacon. 60 points.
I mean, I think it's pretty incredible in a losing effort what AJ Brown just freaking continues to do every week.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I put on my phone. I'm going to my phone right now. Here's what his totals are the last 6 games. So 9 catches, 131 yards. 9 catches, 175 yards and 2 TDs. 6 catches, 127 yards. 7 catches, 131 yards. 10 catches, 137 yards and a TD. 8 catches, 129 yards and 2 TDs. First player in NFL history with 125 receiving yards in 6 straight games. Wow. How incredible, A.J. Brown. I know it's taken away from Devontae Smith. That's why Todd traded him. But man, oh man, that's been kind of fun to watch. Although I wish I had A.J. Brown on my team, but I was high on him coming in. All right,
because AJ Brown got drafted before I drafted Devonta Smith, I think.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, I don't think anybody thought that Devontae Smith was better.
No.
I think you figured, and I figured, and maybe a few of us figured that they would throw more, but they've been running and tush pushing it all over the place. All right, let's get into the duds.
This is the worst. You are the worst. I hate looking at your face. I want to smash it.
Mikey, who stunk it up in week 8?
You could have went. This one, Cooper Kupp, 5 points. It was a matchup against Dallas, who I know has a good defense, but this was going to be a game that was supposed to have a lot of points, and it did, but he didn't benefit. It was one-sided, and Cooper Kupp didn't benefit from it at all, and from a first-round pick, I think that really hurt Aaron, in losing to Todd this week.
And in that same kind of voice, Puka Nacua also did not do well with his 5 points. So it kind of hurt both of them. And Stafford, updated news, I think I saw somewhere that his x-ray came back negative. So he should be okay to go next week. Todd, who else did not play well in week 8?
I'm going to go with Chris Olave. Only 7 points. I mean, he's been kind of in the middle the last few weeks, but only 7 points. Five receptions for 46 yards each. For being the number one wide receiver on the Saints, not one of his best performances.
Yeah. I know, like I said, as I mentioned, it was kind of the up and down with the Derek Carr and the offense, and his targets have been pretty consistent, minus a couple tough games in the middle. So they've been trying to get him the ball. I think they understand how good he can be, but one touchdown, probably a little lower than a lot of us thought. I'm going to take one I thought Mikey was going to say for sure, but Lamar Jackson. What? Bad week, good week, bad week. I feel like it's always he either has a huge, gigantic week or he just disappears into nothing. So 31 points this week, 60 the week before, and then 31 the previous week. So, or 39, excuse me, but 18 completions, 1 pass touchdown, and a 7-point win over Arizona. I know Arizona's bad. It was in Arizona, but I guess with Gus Edwards, and I think that's the risk you take with Lamar Jackson. Either he's going to rush in for some touchdowns, or as much as they like to run the ball, Gus Edwards is going to go in and score 3 touchdowns, which I'm sure would have benefited Jackson if you've gotten 1 or 2 of those. And
no,
Mikey with
here's
a big
my
sigh
thing.
over there.
I am not disagreeing with you.
I don't think you're disagreeing with me, right?
This is going to sound like I'm slamming G a little bit. I just want everybody to learn. Like, if you've been watching for the last 7-8 weeks, if you have a quarterback that's playing against the Commanders' defense, you should put him
in. Yeah.
3 points on the bench.
We saw Justin Fields almost had 70. Russell Wilson's best game this year was against them. Like, their defense, especially that secondary, is dog crap. It's just nasty. So
yeah, and I mean, and they didn't they trade both of the rushing pieces today?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Sweat and Young, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's gonna get worse. So Mac Jones next week.
There are some.
If anybody needs a quarterback.
Yep. Kilgore, Trout. Maybe Todd. We'll see.
Oh, that's right, Todd with no Brock Purdy. All right. Todd, did you have someone else that stunk it up last week?
Well, even though I got the win, I'm just gonna say it, but I don't know what the heck they're doing with Aaron Jones. Just gotta stop.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, I know. They got
this week.
Gotta figure this out because 6
There's
points.
other teams that play in our league, Todd.
Hey, Todd.
There's a website you can go to and look.
So I can help you with this.
The different teams.
So, number one, as we've said, they like to split with A.J. Dillon. But that right now is not even their biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest problem is Jordan Love sucks. So they don't respect the Packers' pass game. So they can just load up on stopping Aaron Jones. It's just the situation he's in.
Retort.
All right. Yeah.
He has none.
All right, I'll go with another. Okay, one. Look, obviously, as Broncos fans, it puts a smile on the face, but Patrick Mahomes, only 29 points. Shut him down, son. Down. Yeah. Sent him and Taylor Swift packing, son. Bang.
There you go. There's the answer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just his worst week of the year against the Broncos in Denver. Yes, he was sick like I was, but I won. He didn't. So take that, Patrick Mahomes. Sorry. That's all I got. That's all I got. But, yeah, that was good. They kept him off balance, and he didn't look comfortable at all the entire game. I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. Mikey, do you have someone else? Dud this week?
Yep. I'm going to go to Kevin's team and his pair of running backs.
Dameon Pierce was the other one I had for sure.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce, Joshua Kelly. I don't know how much you expect from Joshua Kelly considering Eckler's back. He had 2 points. Dameon Pierce, 46, And a matchup against Carolina that's
Good.
kind of
It's a
decent.
good matchup.
you
Yeah,
know.
I was expecting more out of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 point, no catches. He had a touchdown that was taken away on review. Not good.
Feel bad for K. I mean, he's going to get a steak next time I see him, but still feel bad for him. 25 points from Stafford, although the guy he played against, Stroud, only had 28. Is weak to have a bad week and almost win, but just didn't pan out for the guy. Kind of feel bad for him, but that's fantasy. That is fantasy. All right, so into next week's schedule. 5-3 Belt Sanders taking on 6-2 Lion Rip. Ooh, that'll be a good one. 5-3 Chad Powers Fan Club taking on 3-5 the NWA. 3-5 Lemonheads taking on 2-6 Gonzo Cats, so taking on the defending champs. How about the 5-3 Tamales taking on 4-4 Notorious CUP? 2-5-1 Butterfingers taking on 5-1-2 Cooper's Cousins. And 5-3 Kilgore Trout versus 1-6-1 Eaton W's.
Hell yeah! Sorry,
Does the Spurs make it all the way back? No
Yeah.
kidding.
they just stole the ball from Durant with 5 seconds and laid it in.
Take the lead. Wow. Wemby Nation, for those who don't know, Mikey's a big Spurs fan, and they got the number 1 pick, and looks like they're coming all the way back against who are they playing? Phoenix. I remember where Kevin Durant played. He's all over the place. Well, there you go. Nice job there. Bye weeks from next week. Broncos, Lions, Jaguars, and 49ers. So no Jahmyr Gibbs, no Jared Goff, no Travis Etienne, no Brandon Ayuk, no Brock Purdy or CMC. Todd, what are you going to do?
Well, right now,
Baker
is in the spot right now. Just for grins, I did put in a waiver for Will Levis. Just see maybe he could throw another 4 touchdowns. But we'll see. It's, like I said, Aaron Jones and Najee Harris gonna have to wake the up and start playing.
And I gotta find a beat. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
All over Will Levis.
Yeah. And I obviously don't have my kicker either, but it's okay.
Kickers are a dime a
Aaron
dozen.
Jones and Najee Harris are gonna have to find it. I don't know. They're gonna have to go have a peace with God or something. I don't know. They got to find something. This is ridiculous. There's no reason. Regardless, yeah. And Mike, I know you're gonna say, well, Pittsburgh's offensive line is still crappy. It was crappy last year. It was crappy before, and it's crappy now. I get that, but they got to find ways to get him. And yes, to your point, Jordan Love does suck. There's no doubt about it. But if you just have to throw little screen passes to Aaron Jones or something, they got to find it. And I know they can, but they don't want to. So.
He is so confident in Aaron Jones. So confident. Mikey, it looks like you just need to fight a tight end, but it looks like you'll have your same group ready to roll against 4-4 CUP and Patrick Mahomes and maybe that high-scoring Chiefs-Miami 7:30 a.m. game.
Yeah, that should be an exciting game. Actually make it worth waking up that early to watch. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to find a tight end, which is like it's the worst possible situation that there is because there's just tight ends suck and we all know it. So yeah, I mean, we'll just see what happens. I'm going to hope the rest of my team can carry me along.
I was going to say, so what if you get 150 points? So what? Not going to matter. It doesn't look like. Yeah.
Don't matter.
Looks like CUP has all their key players in the mix as well. So that should be an interesting matchup. And for myself, I'll have to put in Mr. Devontae Smith in for Christian Kirk, who's on a bye. But I feel good about that. That was kind of a big point of making that trade. We'll see if Darren Waller's back or if I go with Taysom Hill, who's been pretty good the last 3 weeks or so. Yeah, 3 weeks in a row. So he may slip into that spot too. But it looks like he'll be missing Evan Ingram, speaking of tight ends. And yeah, so we'll see if he goes with Stroud versus Tampa or Gordon Minshew versus Carolina. He's the one who had Kendrick Bourne, so who's out for the season. So anything else, gentlemen, before we get out of here? I mean, we're heading towards week 9, and You know, fun stuff. You know, Cooper's Cousins at the top with 2 ties. Aaron's right behind him at 6 and 2, and Mikey leading the league with 1,194 points scored. And you've also given up the third most points. Fourth most. I can't even do math today. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like I don't mean to be cocky when I say this. Maybe I do.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like I'm the best team in the league. I just doesn't show it record-wise.
Well, there's 5 and 3. You've had I guess some bad luck in there, and that's what happens in fantasy sometimes. The way it goes. The way that love goes. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Well, good luck in week 9. Thanks for everyone that's tuning in out there in the MHA world. Hopefully everything works out for you in week 9. So for Mikey Renault, Todd Diamond, I'm Eric Lansing. We will see you next time on the MHA podcast. Happy Halloween.